In this video, if you're trying to make money online, I'm going to tell you why high ticket sales is the best way for you to make your first 10K a month. So I see a lot of people fail at all this like internet business stuff, and then they just give up. When if they had started with this instead of one of these other like complicated businesses, they would have just succeeded and their life could have looked totally different basically. Once you land a good role in high ticket sales and you get on a good offer, you will never find an easier way to make 10K a month in your life. And I'm going to explain why. So first, I believe that if you're looking at all this make money on the internet stuff, your goal should be to make the most money in the most efficient way possible. Now at higher levels, that's going to be like a business, obviously, or investments. But most people watching this video are not there yet. And starting a business at the beginning is going to be a ton of work. But most people that are going to be watching videos like this, they just want to make more money in the easiest way possible so that they can enjoy their life. That is the vast majority of people, and high ticket remote sales is the best way to do that. Your job is to sit on a computer and talk to people on Zoom who already want to buy what you're selling. That last point is key. You basically need to answer a few questions for people who are already showing interest in buying the products that you're selling. So there's no like real work on your part, in my opinion, other than doing the calls. You're not trying to like convince random people to buy things that they don't even want to buy and they don't even know who you are, like most other sales jobs. And you mainly run the same call every time. You ask them a few questions to get to know them, and then if the product is right for them, you pitch it to them. If not, you say, hey, I don't think you're a good fit for this, and you disqualify them and you move on to the next call or the next lead. That's basically it. There's no other responsibilities except some pipeline management and some follow-ups in your downtime, which is like any good sales role. And you can make 10K a month and more to do this. Sometimes I feel like I'm in the twilight zone, that I have to explain to people like, hey, have you not looked at this? Like, this is a pretty fucking good opportunity. If all these other make money online things aren't working for you or you don't know what to do, why aren't you looking at this? You know? But I think the internet has like ruined a lot of things for people, especially with social media, because they see someone say something like, oh, this is so easy, bro. You can make a lot of money, which typically that's always lies. So when they see me say something like that, they just lump it in the same category and they're like, yeah, probably not. Now let's go into detail on what makes high ticket sales so great and why it's so easy. First of all, you're speaking with warm inbound leads, which we kind of already discussed. And most people I have found do not understand the massive difference that this makes. In many sales jobs, you have to do cold calling, for example. You have these really long sales cycles where it's like a grind just to get like one sale, and you're just constantly having to like reach out to people over and over and over. And you're having to convince people to buy things, even if you're selling something that's expensive and it's legitimate. Most sales jobs, you're still doing like 90% outreach to people. So sales gets a bad rap as being like difficult and hard because most sales jobs, you're trying to take a complete stranger who doesn't know who you are or who the product is all the way to giving you like a lot of money in like 1 to 30 minute to 60 minute meeting. Yeah, that sounds pretty fucking hard. No wonder people don't want to do sales. But in high ticket sales, closers are not doing any of that. On a good offer, your calls are scheduled for you. The clients or the prospects went and scheduled the call themselves. You show up each day, you look at the calendar, and then you take the calls. When I started doing this, like I came from tech, I was like, holy shit, this is insane. What the fuck? And since you're speaking to warm inbound leads, they already have interest in buying what you're selling. You're not smacking them across the face with some product. They're like, what is this? Why do I need this? I gotta go, right? They're trying to get off the call. So it's totally different, and these calls are not difficult. You're talking to people who've already made up their mind to some degree that they want to buy. So that just changes the whole dynamic of the call, and there's way less stress on you, I guess is the way I would put it. Now, what makes all this possible? How is it possible that high ticket sales roles have these easy warm inbound leads that are ready to buy, but no other sales industry has really figured that out? This is probably the first place you get skeptical. Number one is that online businesses use primarily social media content to generate and nurture these leads, which no business in the history of our earth has ever had before, okay? And using social media to constantly nurture leads and generate new leads is what has people going and ready to buy, scheduling calls all the time. Social media content is basically free advertising, and it's running 24/7, and people cannot pry it away from their face. Okay? So think about a TV ad. They might get you for like 30 seconds a few times a week at the most, where they're putting their product directly in front of your face. But these days, people are just addicted to their phones. And if a business or an influencer, or however you want to call it, is posting lots of content every day, talking about what they sell indirectly, people are seeing that all the time, every day, because they're just like, all day, right? But with TV advertisements, they've got to fight with other people to get in front of your face. With social media, you're basically running straight to them. Like, please, give me more advertisements. I need more advertisements. Think about what I'm saying. That's literally what it is. Because people are like, oh, I can't wait to go home and scroll on my phone for 6 hours tonight. You're basically just running straight home to watch a bunch of advertising from a person or businesses for their product that they're selling from their Instagram account. Isn't that wild, bro? Imagine how much more money, like, I don't know, fucking Dr. Pepper would make if people were desperate to go home and watch like 15 Dr. Pepper commercials every single night. Like they were like, oh, I can't wait to watch these Dr. Pepper commercials, you know? But that's what you're doing. You're scrolling a business or influencer's page and watching like 15, 30, 50 fucking pieces of their content in a night. And this is all free for them to do. Isn't that wild? Bro, does that blow your mind? Like you're addicted to people's advertising. And there was no other system or machine or whatever you want to call it in the history of humanity that allowed you to reach so many people for free instantly with like the push of a button. You just can get your advertising for anything you want in front of thousands, hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions of people with one piece of content. That is fucking insane. When I like say this to people and the top of their head doesn't explode, I'm just like, okay, you know? The punchline is you have thousands of people watching content every day who are potential leads. And this keeps a consistent flow of people going and scheduling sales calls with you who are ready to buy. The second part of this is going to be running ads. And these days, with all the algorithm changes, content and ads have basically merged. Ads are just, especially on Instagram and YouTube, ads are just like content with money behind them. So if a business has a good offer and they're running great organic content and then they also have paid advertisements dialed in, you will make insane money as a salesperson. If you have a good product or offer, which many online businesses do, and then you support that with the organic social media content, you're constantly going to have people coming in who want to buy what you're selling. So this is the game changer. And even though it seems like social media has been around for a while, most businesses don't even utilize it at all. And a lot of the ones that do are just doing it totally wrong. They're horrible at it. So a business gets to smack people in the face with their product every day because people can't pry their phones away from their faces. Attention is the game. If you have attention, you can make a ton of money. And high ticket salespeople are just right in the middle of that, in the best spot to capitalize on that. Another reason that this is such a mind-blowing opportunity is there's not a lot of selling going on. So what does this mean? Internet businesses sell products and services that solve real problems for people, the type that keep them awake at night. So if I'm a business owner and I can't get leads or I'm not making the money I want to pay a marketing agency to bring me tons of leads so that I can make more money. If I'm out of shape and I've tried everything, I want to buy coaching or like a coaching program or help or consulting or whatever from someone that I look up to who has the body or the health lifestyle that I want, and I want to get their help with my health because I'm tired of being obese or insecure or unhealthy, whatever. These are things that people lay awake at night hating themselves over. So you're selling things that are actually helping people, and those are the easiest and best things to sell. On top of that, these products all have high profit margins because they're internet businesses and the products are typically delivered digitally, which means your sales commission on every sale is much higher. The higher a profit margin is on a product, the more money the business gets to keep from the sale, which means there's more money to pay the salespeople. That's how it works. And that's how you can make so much money so easily. Lastly, there's way less moving parts in these sales jobs than in corporate sales roles or any other sales role that I've had because Every sales job I've ever had either like a bunch of stupid bureaucracy, like in corporate, or just all this other surrounding nonsense that had nothing to do with actually selling and generating money for the company. And they want you to do like social shit outside of work with work people, which I've vented on like ad nauseum on this channel, so I'm not going to get into that, but that's just like crazy. Like, what does this have to do with sales? I don't want to go to an event on Saturday with you. What, bro? In high ticket sales, all you have to do is close the sales and collect the payment. On to the next. If you're making sales, the business owner will leave you alone. Now, most people have never run a business or done like really high level sales or closed lots of revenue in sales or anything close to that, so they don't realize how great of an opportunity this is, which is why I'm making this video. And the reason why everyone else you know isn't doing something like this is the same reason most people don't do anything else, because they're lazy and they're looking for the easiest, most half-assed way possible to do everything. They just want to do the bare minimum, and if they have to do anything hard, they immediately quit and give up and start making excuses. Comment sections are filled with these people. So you can make a ton of money doing high-ticket sales. You just have to do some upfront work to find the good opportunity. That's the end of the video. If you want my help getting a closer role or a setter role, go to the links in the description. Until next time.